No.
First smile.
Yes, everybody smile. Yes. Hellboy. Picture. It's a different hero. I mean, it is a hero movie about a young little baby what crosses over the astral plane or wherever during World War II, and then is brought up by no other person than like John Hurt. Brilliant as Professor Broom. It's an enjoyable movie. It's I keep smiling, Beef Dad. It's an enjoyable movie. It's the effects are good in this. The creature effects are not Men in Black creatures, but these is it Ron Perlman who plays the lead Hellboy? He wants to play this part. He's just Ron Perlman. Any part he plays is brilliant in. But he's most of the time though he's under all makeup and everything. You don't really see his face, but now and again you do see him in movies where he's no makeup. But yeah, I enjoyed this. The fight scenes are brilliant, really well choreographed with the swords and that lot. It's and the one with the I can't remember the name, but the swordsman what's got a clockwork hat. There's only dust for blood and that lot. I mean that makeup, the eyelids and the teeth. Really well done. You've got to admire these people what put all their time and effort into do all this makeup and in the movies and stuff. I enjoyed it. It's I mean it must have done well at the box office because they did a sequel. For me, it's I'll give it an 8.5. I enjoyed it. So that's what I'd say about Hellboy. But it's mainly a big thumbs up to John Hurt in this, and the scene where he, where they say goodbye to him at the funeral. That was a very good scene, and I also like the idea as well of these creatures. I can't remember what they're called now, but every time one is killed, two are born. I mean, that is just a never-ending thing, and it's a good idea. That, but yeah. That's what I'm giving it. It's a good film. It's not gory, as someone might say. It's gory, but it's not gory. There's no blood at all, really, in this. So it's a comic book made into an action movie. That's what I'm going to say. Over to you.
Welcome to the Geeks Assembled podcast. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and by popular demand of at least one person, and at the most two people, we are back again for movie night, and we are talking about 2004's Hellboy, and we're going to jump straight in with Alex and Susan's thoughts on this film. What did you two make of it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, Ron Perlman and John Hurt. Wow. And some other people who Alex probably remembers way better than me. But yeah, it was a good movie. It was until I saw the movie back in the day, I didn't realize that it had come from a comic book series, and that it was rather a long run actually. So, I mean, that's me, Todd, and stuff, and it was exciting and quite adventurous, and it was really sad, the unrequited love that Hellboy to his paramour. Anyway, here's Alex.
Yeah, I saw the comic book series for a little bit. The novels, I guess, graphic novels. It was all right. It is hard to put that in a movie. They have a lot of good actors. They have very good sets and actually very good wardrobe and all that. Some of the movie didn't make sense, but then again, it is a graphic novel, comic book movie. They did do a good job trying to fuse as much human elements as they could. Did like the cast. Probably is a little overlong, and some parts don't make sense. But again, it's a comic book movie, and its heart is in the right place. I probably would have edited out 15 minutes at least. But like I said, it has a lot of personality, and at least it isn't Batman, Superman, Spider-Man with their 10 versions, and the Hulk with his 5 versions. Of course, it is good they finally did a Wonder Woman movie. But yeah, that's later on. That's not in 2004. So yeah, if this could encourage more people to do individual superhero movies that not everybody's seen 10 billion versions of, it would be good. I know they made a sequel. I don't think they're going to do a third. Unfortunately, they can't seem to get the money or everybody to agree to do a third movie. And I know Ron Perlman has spent a lot of time because he was in the Beauty and the Beast TV series where he also was in makeup. So
there's no third movie.
Just like Lou Ferrigno, he's one of these people that's kind of blessed to wear makeup or wear prosthetics or whatever. It looks good on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of the story, I barely liked it. I think the time period is a little cliched, but as I said, at least it isn't the same character with their 20th movie. And as much as I like Marvel and DC, it would be nice to see comic, even Swamp Thing or the Toxic Avenger, just a superhero that you don't see every 5 minutes. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't like the plot of the story, and toward the end it was a little grandiose, but that's what they're made for. The part where he's sticking his animal sort of arm in the wall or whatever it was, that didn't make any sense. Then throwing the guy throwing the rosary back at Hellboy, or Red as his girlfriend calls him. That didn't make any sense, but it is a superhero movie, and you have to have that moment of epiphany, and you have to have the moment of, just like in Star Wars, oh, I could be evil, but I'm going to turn good, that type of thing.
Alex, you talk about things not making sense, but you watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, but he's a different superhero. But yeah, it's the same thing. At least with that superhero, you get to even change your gender. I
don't like calling the Doctor a superhero.
Yeah.
The Doctor.
Well, super being. I mean, hey, if you can have 1,000 bodies, I mean, some people have said that that's completely stupid as well. So there you go. I mean, you got to have a little bit of the ridiculous anyway. I mean, life is that way. This group and this group of fans is a big supporter of Monty Python, and they quite excel at expressing the ridiculous.
Oh my God!
And the fact that you have to go to 10 departments to go to the complaint department, and things like that. I mean, yeah. I mean, there is a sense of the absurd and the ridiculous. It's just probably they, wanted to film the movie. It did have a sequel. Like I said, there won't be a third. It seems like.
No, there's not going to be a third.
Yeah,
no.
But I mean, it is a good movie and it is a good series. It's not exactly the best storytelling and the most logical, but as I said, if you're watching detective movies or horror movies or sci-fi movies or superhero movies, there's going to be parts of it that aren't going to make sense to anybody, never mind 1 or 2 points. So yeah.
Now let's go over to Wales, and he's definitely not from Swansea. That's what he says. It's Stephen Price.
No, I'm from Texas. That's why my chainsaw picture is up. So there we are.
I thought that was you just dancing through the fields.
No, that's me chasing somebody.
All right.
Right.
Does his name begin with a T?
No. Yeah. This movie. I've seen a couple of pictures of it when it was about to be released years ago, and I didn't like the look, of the pictures of Hellboy. I thought, oh, this is like a B movie. And when I watched it, I thought it totally brilliant effects in it. And after that, I watched Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Yeah, this Hellboy movie was totally brilliant. And I forgot, I just watched it yesterday, and I forgot that John Hurt was in it.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Hellboy 2 as well?
Yeah. Hellboy 2, I can't remember about it, but I'll have to go back and watch it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Your opening thoughts? And let's go over to Germany with Beef Dad. See what he makes of the film. Have you seen it before, by the way?
Yes, I saw it when it first came out. I liked it then. I still like it. I think it's a great film. I like the sort of the way they wove in the Nazis and Rasputin. And they say about Rasputin, about the night that he was poisoned, strangled, stabbed, drowned, and survived. It did happen. That did happen. That's in the history books. Extraordinary. John Hurt was brilliant, but then I've never known John Hurt not be brilliant. Everybody's talked about Ron Perlman, but I really loved the Merman, Abe Sapien, played by Doug Jones. I think that is just it was such a brilliant character. Glub glub, in water all the time, but he could also survive out of water. And he was psychic. And that was just brilliant. It all worked really well. And of course, Selma Blair playing Liz, a fiery little piece of work, that one. She was just brilliant. She was brilliant. It was a bit of a challenging role, I would say, considering all the different facets to the girl, and I think she just did a brilliant job of it. I really enjoyed it. I loved the effects. I really loved the special effects. Especially the last one, where Rasputin dies, and in dying he releases a god, and that is just extraordinary. That really is brilliant. So yes, I enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's go over to Ethan. What did you make of this film, Ethan? Have you seen it before?
Yeah, I like Beef Dad. I saw it when it first came out. I remember seeing the posters, and I never knew anything about it. Didn't know about it being a comic book, but it looked comic booky to me. It looked cool, unique, and I love Ron Perlman, John Hurt, who is amazing in it. Ron Perlman was amazing too, and as Beef Dad said, Abe Sapien. Everything he does, Doug Jones, he always plays these unique characters, and they're always so good. Liz Black, amazing, and it was a very nice, different superhero story with the whole trying to bring a god, bring in this baby devil, Rasputin from the story of the Romanovs, the Nazis, all these different characters. And it was back in a time where superhero films were making a comeback because of like X-Men, Spider-Man and all that. And they were trying different things. But yeah, it's a very beautiful looking film as well at times. It had very beautiful sets and styles because it's I'm trying to pronounce the director's name, Guillermo Del Toro. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's like Tim Burton. Like Tim Burton has his unique style. You could tell it's a Tim Burton film with the twistedness. And Guillermo Del Toro has his own style, which is sort of a very beautiful, artsy, otherworldly look. But yeah, it's a good, fun film. It is a really good, fun film. The second one, I love a lot as well. I thought the second one was great with all the elves and stuff. But yeah, I do like the film. It is an enjoyable superhero film. Loved it then, loved it now.
Thanks for that, Ethan. And when this was announced that we were going to do this, when Lee said that we were going to do this film, because Lee chooses the superhero films, I thought, oh no, what is this rubbish? Because I saw the poster of it and I thought it looked pretty bad. And then I watched the trailer and I thought, oh God, this is going to be crap. I'm going to have to sit through this crap. And luckily it's on Netflix, so I can just sit back and put it on. I don't need to worry about going through the search engines, looking for it, watching it on my laptop. And I have to say, when it started, it very much reminded me of Stephen Price because of the rain. I thought, right, and I just thought, Stephen, the rain at the beginning.
It might have been filmed in Wales. We don't get that much rain.
Well, yeah.
Unless it was filmed in Scotland. We get a lot of rain up here too.
That bit of the film was based in Scotland, yeah, because it said Scotland on the tag. So I think it was actually, I think it was actually Wales. It was filmed in to get all that rain. And I did question at the beginning if I was watching the right version, because all those masks and all that leather, I thought, am I watching the correct version here? I'm not watching something dodgy, am I? I haven't clicked on Hellboy and something dodgy's come up. With all that leather. We're not going to go into that. But I have to say, I actually really enjoyed it. I actually thought it was very good. I don't agree totally that it looks amazing, because I thought some of the CGI did look a bit, well, it's 2004, it did look a bit questionable. But yeah, it was very much action-packed. I've never seen it before. I've never even heard of it before. But John Hurt, I have to say, he was amazing in it. He was absolutely amazing. He was brilliant. He really made it for me because he's just such a brilliant actor. And it's a real shame that he's no longer with us, because he was a true great. But yeah, I really enjoyed the film from beginning to end. And I thought the ending was good too, with that giant octopus thing in the sky that god that they're trying to bring back. And I just thought it had everything that you needed for a film, because I felt like they were in danger. I felt like there was danger. I felt the suspense. I felt the action sequences were really well done. This was really well directed. It was really well acted, and it was all round a very, very enjoyable film. And I don't usually like long films, because this film is quite long. It's 2 hours. But yeah, it entertained me the whole way through. So I was pleasantly surprised, really surprised. Let's open the floor to whoever wants to speak. Anybody want to mention anything, any favorite moments or any particular?
Yeah, one of my favorite moments is where he opens a coffin and gets that.
You remind me, that was brilliant. I thought that the way that they did that was because he was an animatronic, wasn't he? He was a puppet, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah. Well, anyway, he said, "Well, boy, if I had legs, I'd kick your ass."
Yeah. What he said was funny. Yeah, the titles. Yeah. No, that was a really good moment. Anyone else? Yep.
Another favorite part where he's a woman is saying, "Give my cat back, give my cat back," and he's fighting that creature, and the train takes the creatures, just cuts him in half. Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of cats in this film, wasn't there? There were cats everywhere.
And he loved his cats, didn't he? They were all over
he
him.
got loads of cats. It's like a cat sanctuary. Anyone else want to mention anything?
Probably my favorite moments. No one's mentioned the Liz Black moment where Rasputin speaks into her ear and brings back the horrible memory of when she got her powers. And she lights up the entire hospital and stuff. That was a really good bit, actually. I actually do like that bit. And of course, the ending with the god, whatever his name was, the big octopus thing. The skeleton guy just makes me laugh all the time. I love the bit when they get knocked off the bridge and the skeleton says, I was better off dead anyway. And the fight with that sort of dog creature, Hellboy find a dog creature the first time anyway. And I love the bit where Abe is underwater and he's being chased by the dog creatures. That's a really well filmed bit. And I think anything with Abe, I love, because he was such a unique character. Just him going through the water. And okay, the graphics were back then. Yeah, it's 2004. Not great, but it's a beautiful looking scene. Just this fish creature swimming around, trying to make an escape, hiding from this horrific dog thing. But
those creatures remind me of something off a video game, like Half-Life or something like that. I swear I've seen creatures very similar to that in a game.
Now that you mention it, yeah, they do look something like that, don't they? I don't know if it's because of the graphics from
They look like the anime characters from Saya Blood Plus.
Oh, I've never seen that.
I've no idea what that is, but okay, I'll take your word.
Yeah, I mean they look just like the creatures in that anime.
The creatures did look good, even though they looked dated. The CGI, they were well designed.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the other, that's the old computer joke. The minute you open the box or 2 months after you're using the computer, it's obsolete. The only other thing that I didn't like was the sliding. Remember when Hellboy and the Jeffrey Tambor character yelling at each other, and he throws, somehow they get thrown on the ground, but they're sliding. And I'm like, how are they sliding? And then they avoid the gate. But they get locked into that little well or whatever, that well-shaped stone container. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, too, that even now, I mean, they've had tons of movies based on video games, Resident Evil, Street Fighter, the absolutely horrible Mario Brothers thing that was really completely... It makes Hellboy look like Shakespeare. It's so bad.
You wait till we review it, Alex. But there was
that's going to be interesting.
But there was lots of funny lines in this film as well. I thought it was pretty funny throughout. Hellboy was funny. A lot of the characters were funny. What was you going to say, Beef Dad?
I particularly enjoyed the bit where what's her name? Ilsa and Carl resurrect Rasputin. I liked that. I thought that was rather good.
Oh, well, they stabbed that man, yeah.
Yeah, and the water goes round the sort of maze, the blood goes around the maze things, and then Rasputin actually comes out of the pool of blood in the middle. That was pretty graphic. I like that. I also really enjoyed the bit where Liz is underground with John Myers and they are trapped with all the versions of Samael, and there's also all the eggs there and they need to be destroyed. And she says, hit me. And he smacks her face and she does her fire thing. and finally just blows them away. So it's not actually Hellboy who kills Samael and all the eggs and everything. It's Liz. Yeah, those are my favourite bits.
Anyone else want to jump in for anything else?
I liked the bit where they were battling all the Samaels and the eggs were there. That was really a lot of Jeopardy. It felt really exciting, and the other bit that I really liked was that felt full of Jeopardy was when they were being pursued through the city streets. I thought that was really intense, and it was really kind of amazing, like the other superheroes in it. Like, you know, I agree with Beef Dad about the merman character. He was amazing. He really was, and you know, the Liz's, you know, fire powers were really cool, so to speak. Anyway, that's probably all I have to say right now.
It did make me feel sad when John Hurt's character said he was dying, you know, because he said, you know, quite early on in the film that he was going to die. And I thought, oh, you know.
Yeah, that was sad for me as well. I think because obviously we lost him not that long ago now.
Yeah.
It's emotional. That actually made me feel more emotional now than it did back then, because I thought, oh, he's going to say bye. But it was much more emotional now. It is a good scene with the face-off between John Hurt and Rasputin, because it's the classic sort of hero and villain conversation, and you know something bad's coming. But yeah, that really hit me a lot, actually. Just when you see him go, it was pretty sad.
Well, he's been an alien. He was the war doctor in the 50th anniversary special.
Yes,
So, I mean, he's been everywhere.
Are you bringing the cast?
Well, he was. So, I mean, that's kind of funny that you bring up Doctor Who and he was the war doctor.
Yeah,
He was in The Elephant Man, which is a brilliant film.
yeah. No, he's amazing in that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
one of his
good,
best
very
films.
good film.
Yeah,
I was thinking that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite films, actually.
Yeah, that's an amazing film. Anyone else have anything to say on Hellboy? Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up. Just like a present at Christmas. No, well, we're going to go to final say and score, and let's start off with Stephen Price, since he's a muted, like the rebel that he is, troublemaker.
I really enjoyed this film. I like the effects. I'd give it 8.5 out of 10.
8.5, not bad. Let's go to Beef Dad. Final say and score.
As I say, I love this film. I love the characters work so brilliantly together, and the whole thing is woven perfectly. Yeah, it gets a 9.5 from me.
And let's go to Susan and Alex. For half
I
an hour.
guess I'll give this an 8 out of 10. It was amazing. It was really cool. And someday I'll read one of the comic books.
Yeah, no.
And catch up with that. That would be fun. And here's Alex.
Alex, score. One score. Give a score.
I'd have to give it a 8.5. Like I said, some parts of the movie didn't make sense, but it was great to have a brand new universe. It was a wonderful cast. It's great that you get to see a comic book hero and villains that you don't see, 20 versions of. And it's a shame that he won't come back. He should, actually. He should be in another series.
Yeah, I agree. I'm fed up with all this Spider-Man and Batman and remaking all this and all that. And this is one of them that, well, I've never heard of, I've never seen, until now. Let's go to Ethan. Final say and score, Ethan.
Yeah, it is a very good film, good fun film, and I'm definitely, like a lot of the others, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. And I do, it is just great cast, great setting, unique, different story. Like we've said, we've seen that many Spider-Men, that many Supermens, that many Batmen. It's nice to see a different take on. I do know they're going to reboot the series, but it's not going to be Ron Perlman. It's
They're rebooting the series. They're making a third one, but it's going to be a total reboot.
Yeah, the news has been around for a while. The guy who's now going to play Hellboy is David Harbour. Has anybody ever seen Stranger Things?
No. Oh, don't.
All right.
Yes.
Well, David Harbour, who plays the sheriff in Stranger Things, he's the new Hellboy. And I've seen him in costume. He does look really cool. And he's pretty beefed up now and stuff, but he's going to be...
There wasn't going to be so there isn't going to be a third one then. It's going to be a reboot.
Yeah, unfortunately, as much as I would have loved... I would have loved it to be a part 3, because obviously part 2 ends with the fact that Hellboy's going to be a dad. I thought, oh, great. Part 3 could be good. But no, it's going to be a total reboot. It's meant to be much more darker and graphic and more adult.
No, you don't want to do that.
And I can't remember the full title of it, Hellboy. I think it's to do with a witch or something, the Blood Witch or something like that. Look it up. I can't remember the full details, but the news has been around for a while. It's definitely happening. There's going to be a reboot of Hellboy.
There we go. Thanks for that. You really cheered us up.
Sorry for the frowns.
I hate reboots. Let's just stop doing reboots of everything.
I know,
it's lazy.
I always said, Hollywood, just shut yourselves down for the next 10 or 15 years until you come up with something original and stop remaking and rebooting stuff, because it's getting tiring.
If they couldn't make reboots, you wouldn't have any film in the cinema.
Yeah.
Or remakes or whatever. Like I say, I enjoyed this.
You'd have Mission Impossible 20.
Oh no.
Or Nightmare on Elm Street 39.
It's not coming out until 2019 anyway.
The new Hellboy film, yeah.
Or Rocky 15.
Oh yeah, that's still going on.
Like I say, I really enjoyed this film. I've never seen it before. Had plenty of action. It was good fun. It was a good watch. And I'm as well going to give it an 8.5 because it's fun. And it's a solid, good film with good characters, with good acting. And it's funny. It has funny scenes and funny lines throughout. And it's just enjoyable. And that's what you want a film to be. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you, lone viewer, for watching this and sticking to the very end. Seek help now. But first, before you do that, comment below your thoughts on Hellboy. Look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.